Welcome to another episode of Crossbody of Work Drafts. My name is Evan.
I am Javier.
This week it's November. And
To dismember.
Hopefully no dismemberment. In November, there's some traditions, Thanksgiving in America, which means Thanksgiving football, but it also means that weekend is the Survivor Series. And just like we did with SummerSlam, and probably what we'll do with all of the major pay-per-views, we are going to draft the best matches from Survivor Series one at a time to see who has the best 5 Survivor Series matches.
I'm excited. I'm also in shambles. I do not remember Survivor Series matches as well as I do any of the other big 4 pay-per-views. So
That's true. So the weird thing with Survivor Series, obviously at the beginning, it was just the elimination matches. Like that was the whole gimmick, and that's fine. And then over the years, it's changed. But I still only think of the elimination matches, but there are better matches that have happened at Survivor Series other than those matches.
And now it's War Games.
And now it is War Games. And honestly, War Games is great. I like War Games a lot.
There's been one.
There's been one. Survivor Series War Games is better than the Survivor Series concept.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
It's sometimes it doesn't feel necessary. Like you can't have like a random like team this versus team this and be in War Games. Like you can do that in Survivor Series.
This year, I think we are like towing the line because it's just like Judgment Day against the Cody Rhodes All-Stars, which is fine because it's been a long time. So there's like personal like stuff there.
I do like the Cody Rhodes Super Friends though. I think that's a fun concept. Cody Rhodes is like, hey. Because nothing bonds people together stronger than hating the same people.
It's true. I mean, him and Sammy have been cool for a while.
True.
It must be said. But
him and Jay were tag champs.
Him and Jay were tag champs. And yeet. and then there's Seth Rollins who started kayfabe tore his pack last year. So, but
also hates the bloodline. Like I said, nothing bonds people faster than hating the same people. That's what most work friendships are.
You said the bloodline, but they're going up against the Judgment Day.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's just always the bloodline in my brain. It's always the bloodline. Everything is the bloodline. Right now, this is the bloodline. Everything in WWE is the bloodline. Yes, one. Nothing bonds people together like hating the same people. Helen and HR, what a bitch. Just that's how it always
goes. New York Yankees.
Yes, or the hating the same sports team is also great. You can bond.
Well, I hate your sports team is the problem.
It's true. And yet, here we are. All right. So, the way this works, we're going to go back and forth drafting the matches. Javier has the draft dime to allow us to decide who has the number 1 pick. I've been on a little bit of a roll recently, ever since starting 0-5. So, Javier's going to flip it, and I'm going to call it in the air. It's heads. Love that for me.
It is tails.
Oh, I was so ready. Okay. Javier gets first pick. I do think I know where you're going to go, so I'm intrigued by this.
Do you? So my first pick is a triple threat elimination tag match.
Fuck you. You are going exactly where I was going to go.
And it is Edge and Rey Mysterio versus Kurt Angle and Dickhead versus Los Guerreros from Survivor Series 2002 for the WWE Tag Team Championships.
It's the best tag match on the card that isn't a Survivor Series tag match. It's the best tag match in Survivor Series history that is an elimination or classic style tag match.
Yes, sir. And I had to pick it because it has Eddie Guerrero in it. So
it's it was first on my board. But also,
that's unfortunate.
You ready for this? My first pick is the match that comes immediately after it.
No.
Because at Survivor Series 2002, what a stacked end of the card. So obviously we had that tag match you mentioned, and then we had the first ever Elimination Chamber match. Triple H defended the title, the world title, against Jericho, Kane, Booker T, Rob Van Dam, and the winner, Shawn Michaels in brown pants.
I hate you right now.
Do you remember the Shawn Michaels brown pants?
I do. I kind of listened. My hot take from when we did our episode on it was that I actually kind of like the pants.
No, they're a bad time. They're an objectively bad time.
You're just objectively being a hater.
Okay, we're going to put them up on the screen for the people. They're right here somewhere. They're bad.
I don't think that they are as bad as people make them out to be.
I
They're not a
disagree.
fashion faux pas to me. I'm sorry.
So we've taken the top 2 from my board. I assume the top 2 from your board as well, based on that reaction.
I just thought I'd be able to get it next. It wasn't second on my board. It's just the one I wanted.
I didn't know 2002 was like this stacked. At least for the last like
That's a heater.
hour and a bit, you can just watch 2002 Survivor Series and have a really good time. It also has this. It's not on my list. The Jeff Hardy and the Dudleys versus 3 Minute Warning and Rico in an elimination tables match. That's a good match. That's fun.
It was nowhere near my list.
No.
Not even a slight thought.
All right. What do you got next?
My next pick, we're going straight singles over here, and we're going to 1996 for the Survivor Series. Number 1 contenders match for the WWE Championship. Not their best match together, but damn near one of the best. It's Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's an absolute barn burner, and it was a preview for what might be the greatest match of all time from WrestleMania
13.
Whatever the fuck, 13. It's a great match, and I have to get one up on Evan after he took this Elimination Chamber. So
it's weird. So like Hart Austin Survivor Series 96 is really weird when you think about like 1 year later, like what's going on in the world for them. Like Austin's on the way to being the biggest star in the world, and Bret Hart's getting screwed literally out of the company.
Yeah.
Weird how much things can change in a year. Great match. I think you're right. It does get overshadowed by other matches that they have had, but this is a really good one. So good pick. Good pick.
I would say 2, right? Yeah. The Canadian Stampede one, and then So
the Canadian Stampede one, and then the
First Blood.
WrestleMania 13. Yeah. So that leaves me with that was number 4 on my big board. So I get to pick my number 3 match. Survivor Series 2007. Let's go inside hell in a cell. And let's take Undertaker versus Batista in an absolute banger.
Do you even know what the finish of that match is?
No, I don't remember. It's been a while.
It's fucking Edge coming through with the camera because he was disguised as a cameraman. I was going to be my last pick because I love that match.
It's a great pick. I forgot that was the Edge being a cameraman match. Spot. Yeah,
I'm so mad. Anyways, I'm going to piss you off.
My question for that one: if you are Edge in that spot, do you have to learn how to operate the camera? Do you have to put in a shift?
I feel like you just slid in at one point.
But at what point can you slide in? Like you got to.
He was just under the ring, I assume,
okay.
And then like he comes out. The actual cameraman handed him the camera, and then.
That's fair. I thought they were gonna make Edge like this. Like, okay, here's like a soft zoom. Keep him in focus.
Just here, learn everything about video recording real quick.
Hey, he did radio broadcasting. It's not that far off. Anyways, yeah. All right, what do you got for your pick 3?
It's time to make you upsetty spaghetti because Brock Lesnar was beating up little people at Survivor Series for a pair of years there. Which one am I gonna go with?
I know which one you're going to go with.
I'm going with Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, the one
I like better. The new Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan 2018 was on such a weird level that legitimately people thought they're like, he's going to beat Brock Lesnar. Like there was
well, he had just turned heel this SmackDown before the pay-per-view.
And in none of these other matches do people think like when Brock was on his untouchable era, people were like, okay, Brock's going to just like wipe the floor with whoever. Like another match that shows up on here is AJ Styles. Like that was the year before. And nobody thought Styles had a chance against Lesnar. Or like when Lesnar faced like Balor at the Rumble. Everyone's like, it'll be nice, but he's going to wipe them. Daniel Bryan, everyone's like, what if Daniel Bryan just beats him?
Yeah, because he just turned heel.
And because Daniel Bryan's just the shit. So
it's true.
This match is so good. Brock Lesnar is so good at wrestling little guys. And Daniel Bryan is so good at being the little guy.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
It's an excellent match, and it's textbook being a chicken shit heel from Danielson,
absolutely,
which is great.
I also like his new look of just having one eye. Did you see that?
All right, he broke his orbital bone, man.
I know, but just the way it's wrapped, I was like, you look like a goddamn pirate.
Also, AEW having its own G1? What?
It's the most Tony Khan thing I've ever heard.
It's because Danielson has wanted to do the G1 for so long, but it's his last year as a full-time competitor, and he knows that Tony Khan is not going to let him do it next year. And he also probably knows he probably shouldn't do the G1 at this stage of his career.
So now it's like, we'll just make
So
our own G1.
yeah.
Anyways, my third pick. This is a strat pick. You ready? There are lots of elimination tag matches to pick from. There are lots of those. But you mentioned earlier, there's only one War Games match to pick. So guess what?
Oh my
I'm taking
god.
it because I want War Games.
Fuck off. That was gonna be my last pick.
So obviously, this was the War Games I was thinking of that had the Bloodlines. It
Yeah.
has Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, and the Brawling Brutes.
I just want the record to show that technically in the main event of Survivor Series, it was Roman Reigns versus Pete Dunne.
That's true. That the record does show that, even though Pete Dunne was called Butch.
Just want the record to show.
This is the one where, like, this is what solidified Sami Zayn as an Uce. It's so good,
Oh,
so
when
good.
Jey Uso hugs him afterwards, it's cinema. I literally
is.
showed this to my girlfriend. It was cinema.
And then we, like, 2 months later is when he's refusing to hit Kevin. Oh,
Man.
this is the best
After
era
leaving him
of
to the Wolves.
This is the best era of the Bloodline storyline.
Oh, without
by
a
far.
doubt. Without a doubt. It was must see every week.
We're now more than half a year removed from WrestleMania 39. Was it the right call to have Roman retain over Cody?
It's not. It's not.
Okay.
It's still a terrible decision.
Yeah. I hope we get to see Roman lose when we go to WrestleMania 40. That would be nice.
I would appreciate it, and I hope he's losing to Cody.
I hope he's losing to Cody, too. All right. So I have Elimination Chamber 2002, Taker versus Batista 2007, and the War Games match. You have that wonderful tag triple threat. You have Hart versus Austin. You have Lesnar versus Bryan. Where are you going for your next pick?
I need an elimination match here.
You
now.
do need an elimination match.
And I have a personal favorite one. I have one that I hold in high regard.
Yes.
But I'm just going to go for the best one.
Okay.
Which is Team Raw versus Team SmackDown from Survivor Series 2005. Team SmackDown is Batista, JBL, Bobby Lashley, Randy Orton, and Rey Mysterio. And Team Raw is Carlito, Chris Masters, Kane, Shawn Michaels, and The Big Show. It's a fucking great match.
When you said the best of all time, and then said, that is not what I thought was the best of all time.
What did you think it was?
The one that I'll take next. And you've heard me give this take before that I think this one's the best because I really do like it. And that's Team Austin versus Team Bischoff from 2003.
Okay, sure, man.
I like that one a lot. Why Team Raw versus Team SmackDown from 05? Because I also know you like the SmackDown one versus Raw one from 2016. I know you like that one too.
It's just there's so many things. I mean, Batista gets double choke slammed. Big Show takes a shit ton of finishers. The Shawn Michaels like midair super kick to Rey Mysterio is extremely underrated.
It's overshadowed by the Shelton Benjamin getting his head taken off, but this one is also really good.
And then Randy Orton does Randy Orton things, RKO out of nowhere to cap it off. I just think it's one of the best worked matches. Like it didn't have much of a story. I just think. And it's just a fun mix of wrestlers, you know what I mean? Like we've got our workhorses here, you know, your Randys, your Shawns, your Rays, and then you've got like random people in there like Carlito and freaking Chris Masters, Bobby Lashley, who was way too early to be put on this shit.
You're right,
but like still pulls it off very well. And then like Big Show and Kane, who, look, man. I'm not saying that those are two of the greatest workers of all time, but when they're put in a spot where they don't have to like be in the limelight, you know what I mean? Like they do so fucking well.
They do really well, especially being like bit role players. Like they have a role to play in this match. They do really well. So the one I picked, the Bischoff versus Team Austin one, this is the first Randy Orton is Mr. Survivor Series match, which I think also means something. I like that. Like Randy Orton at Survivor Series is next level.
Yeah, I think we've discussed this in the past. Like of the big four pay-per-views, there's always a Mr. somebody.
Mr. that, yeah.
Like I think, you know, you could go either way. Shawn Michaels is probably Mr. WrestleMania.
Agreed.
Or Bret, whatever you want to say. I would say either Bret Hart or like probably Undertaker or Mr. SummerSlam.
Lesnar has a case too. But
Lesnar also has a very strong case there. You know, I would say Orton is the Survivor Series guy. And then, listen, I'm just going to put it out there. John Cena is Mr. Royal Rumble.
Yes, we have discussed that before. Yes.
He just is.
He's Mr. Rumble.
Between the title matches and the actual
Survivor
Rumble
Series
wins.
is Randy Orton. Almost like without debate.
Because who the fuck else is it going to be? You know? I don't
True.
think there is anyone else like that could hold a debate with Randy. Like, I love Bret Hart. I think Bret Hart is great and has also a strong case for his, catalog of Survivor Series matches. But he ain't better than Randy.
So the teams are Team Austin is Shawn Michaels, RVD, Booker T, and the Dudleys, and then Team Bischoff is Orton, Jericho, Christian, Scott Steiner, and Mark Henry. And the most 2003 Raw thing of all time is having Scott Steiner on your team, who is eliminated first by Booker T.
It's good stuff.
It is the best of stuff. All right, we have one pick left each. Where are you going with yours?
Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. WWE Survivor Series 2016.
Yeah, okay. So the one that I thought you were taking last time. All right.
Yeah, it has to be. I mean, you took War Games from me. I couldn't go War Games. I would have taken I would have not even had a Survivor Series elimination match, honestly, because my thought process was take Batista Undertaker with the 4th pick and then take War Games last.
Yeah.
But you ruined that for me.
That's what I'm here for.
So now I gotta take 2005 and I gotta take 2016 because 2016 I just think was such a perfect mesh of so many different stories going on at once. Like,
so it's one of the only times that they have integrated brand warfare with the storylines doing a good job. Normally they seem to forget all of the other stories and just go brand warfare like it matters.
Yeah.
This time they remembered all of the storylines and did brand warfare, and it was really good.
It's great. I mean, you've got like between, Team SmackDown having AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose and them beefing, and then we've got the Shield reunion because they're like, oh, Dean hates this guy. All right, cool. We're gonna put him through a table, and then so much other stuff. You've got the whole Wyatt family situation going on there. Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt coming back together face to face. Shane McMahon dying for a split second there.
Actually, though.
Yeah, there's so many little things about this that I thought was great, and like you mentioned, it's the only time they've done the brand warfare, or one of the only times they've done the brand warfare thing where it like truly made sense because you had stories from within the teams themselves of guys having feuds, like I mentioned, Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles, but you've also got like older stories from the past, from when the brands were still together, like the Shield guys, like the Wyatt family people coming back together. And
plus,
you've got the boss's son right there.
It was novel because we hadn't had the brand split in a long time, like a legit brand split.
Yeah.
So this was a big deal. It was like, oh, we haven't had this Raw versus SmackDown thing in a while. Now it
was also Triple H versus Shane.
That's true, which is the rivalry of all rivalries for all time. All right, I've got the last pick. Here are the 4 matches that I considered versus the one that I'm picking, and you're gonna make fun of me for the one I pick, and that's okay. I considered Styles versus Lesnar from 2017. It's a really excellent match. It's low-key one of Styles' best matches in WWE. And Styles has had lots of great matches, but I think
I would say it's up there. It's like
one
of the 4 or 5.
I was gonna say it's at least top 10, like guaranteed top 10. Team Cena versus Team Authority 2014. Great match.
Great match. We covered it.
We covered it on Minisode. You should go watch it. But the big thing is that it's more about it's long, but it's more about the one spot. It's more about the Sting debut than is the actual match. So that kind of, I was like, maybe not that. Team WWF versus Team Alliance. You hate this match.
Not putting that. Just wasn't going to put it. I just don't get it. It's because I wasn't around. And I know it's because I wasn't around and like a fan, like an active fan watching.
Also, Team Alliance wasn't Team Alliance. Like it wasn't.
But Stone Cold Steve Austin was on it. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, it was Shane, so the boss's son from WWF. Kurt Angle was on it. Steve Austin was on it, and then RVD and Booker T.
I already picked the better Survivor Series match with Shane McMahon on it.
I picked the better Austin one. So then I considered a match that is just like, I forgot it happened, and then I was reading about some best Survivor Series matches, so I went back and I was like, let me see some clips of this. Let me see some clips of New Day versus Shield 2017. Because I forgot that happened. That's just a good match. It's fun for me. I liked it. It's not what I'm picking.
I was going to say.
But it does relate to my pick. 2009. Let's humble Mr. Survivor Series by having Team Orton versus Team Kingston. Kofi Kingston as the sole survivor. Honestly, if you just watch it for the last 4 minutes when Kofi is by himself and eliminates CM Punk and Randy Orton in quick succession, it is worth it. What a good match.
Yeah, I'll let you cook.
I fucking love Kofi Kingston. We know
I'll let you
this.
cook.
We know this. And if I'm going to pick another Survivor Series match to put on my best matches list, it's going to be one that I enjoy watching. And honestly, that one's up there.
So on my honorable mentions list.
Hold on. I'm not done. Let me tell you about the teams. On this, because you like some of these people, not all of them, but you like some of them. Team Kofi was Kofi, obviously. Christian, you like him. Mark Henry, he's good. MVP, he's coming. And R-Truth, it's a good team.
It's a weird ass team.
Shut up. Other team was great. CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, he's pretty good. Whoa, Ted DiBiase, he's less good. Randy Orton.
Whoa.
And William Regal, he's pretty good.
William Regal, what the fuck?
Yeah, Billy Reeks.
The weirdest pick of all.
Yeah, that's great.
You know what, Evan?
Have no further defense. It's also only 20 minutes and 47 seconds.
I would like
how much better.
I would like to thank you for giving me the win this week. That's all I'll say about that.
I'm like the coach who plays his own kid, even though this kid's awful.
Oh my God. We're looking at you, Frank Martin at UMass.
Okay. A very pointed. I like that.
He kept playing his freaking kid last year, and he was ass.
What sport?
Basketball. Brandon Martin.
Frank Martin. I didn't know these Frank Martin. I'm not tuned into fucking UMass basketball. Could have been water polo for all I know.
Frank Martin is the former coach. He was the coach of Kansas State when Michael Beasley was there. Then he coached South Carolina for many years. That team from like back in like 2014, 15, 16, that range that had like Sedarius Thornwell and coached that whole collective. They were good every year, but they were never close. And then, he got a little long in the tooth there. They decided to part ways, and he came to UMass. And not because he didn't have higher up jobs, but because I guess he had like a personal connection to UMass or some shit. So he just decided, you know what, fuck it, we're coming back here. And then he just kept playing his kid last season, Brandon Martin, who was fucking awful at basketball. Like literally the only redeemable quality he had, it was that he was tall.
So that's me picking Kofi Kingston. I like this.
Well, except Kofi's not tall.
Kofi's skinny.
Okay.
There you go. Give me your honorable mention that we didn't mention.
Bret Hart versus Diesel.
Diesel, yeah.
From Survivor Series.
Diesel turns heel after the match.
Good match.
Yeah, Diesel turning heel. Great decision.
I never truly considered it to be on my list, but compared to what's left, it's my honorable mention.
That's fair. Some good honorable mentions. So, to recap, I have Elimination Chamber 2002, Undertaker versus Batista 2007, Bloodline versus Brawling Brutes, Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens in War Games 2022. I have Team Austin versus Team Bischoff in 2003, and Team Kofi versus Team Orton in 2009. Javier has Los Guerreros versus Edge and Ray versus Kurt Angle and Dickhead 2002. Hart versus Austin from Survivor Series 96, Lesnar versus Bryan from 2018, and two versions of Team Raw versus Team SmackDown 2005 and 2016. It is up to you to decide in the comments who has the better draft. Join me, fellow New Day fans, in taking my I think mine is really strong, and then I have a personal pick. I think yours is also very good.
I have personal picks in mine too.
I mean, you did take Bryan, yeah. And Eddie. Yeah.
And Eddie.
That's fair. Your nepotism worked. Mine also worked. It's up to you in the comments. You should also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Crossbody of Work. You should also hit subscribe. We're on the road to 100. You see what the number is down there. Very cool. Be part of our little group that hangs out here. We also have our podcast every week. This week, we're in the midst of our 3-part series on Edge, and a new episode will come out on Saturday as we talk about... I love how you always do that. We will talk about Edge's return from retirement and all the different stuff he's been up to. Great stuff there. Javier, tell people where they can find you on social media.
I'm on the Twitter machine at JMelloSports. Lob the boy a follow.
You should follow me as well at @7Gomes, ITSEVANGOMES. We will be back soon with another Crossbody of Work drafts. We will talk to you then.
Later.